We are here in downtown Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. I'm standing here with Ben Kennedy, year 2 now of the Busch Light Clash here in the Coliseum. So we should be, I mean, this is old song and dance for you now.
It is. It's good to be back in Los Angeles. Hard to believe that the off season is already over. But great to be here in LA and at such an iconic place. I mean, I thought it was a great way to kick off our season last year, promote the Daytona 500, promote our entire season, and we're going to do it again this year. So.
We are excited to be bringing this event back to Los Angeles. And the fans came out last year. We're hoping to see them again this year as well. But the next gen car, we saw its first year and what it did. And you mentioned kicking the season off here, but now we're kicking off year 2, this sophomore season of this car. So what did you think of 2022 in the next gen?
Yeah, I mean, the next gen car is fantastic. I mean, to have 19 different winners, 5 first-time winners. And I think if you look at a lot of the stats and metrics that we look at, a lot of them were up double digits, or some of the highest that we've seen since we've started recording. So from a racing product perspective, it's been fantastic. The intermediates have been really good. They've been working on the short track and road course package, which we're going to see here in a little bit later on this year. So I think it's going to be great, and it's only going to get better. But a great first season next gen car. I'm excited about this race in particular. I know a lot of people were running really hard a year ago to get ready for this. Now the inventory's caught up. I think we're gonna have a really good show this weekend.
We know teams obviously are hearing just some of the small changes and the tweaks, and there was testing out in Phoenix a couple weeks ago to make sure that year 2 of the next gen is even better than year 1 was. So what have you heard from just the teams and the drivers and the excitement level on that end for 2023?
Yeah, I think it's good. And they had a test in Phoenix where we're testing out a few different things, some different aero packages, really around the short tracks and road courses in particular. And seeing that that's a big part of our schedule today, we got to make sure that when we go to those tracks, that's some of the best racing product that we've had, because traditionally short tracks have always been great racing. So we've got to get that in a really good spot. And I think the feedback's been pretty positive so far. It'll be a step in the right direction. Will it be perfect? We don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like, but we'll continue to evolve and work on it. Thankfully, the teams and drivers have been a great voice and sounding board for us as we work on that.
I want to dive a little bit more into the season, because obviously we kick things off here in Los Angeles, but this is really a year of innovation as far as racetracks and the product that we're giving out to fans. And one that comes to mind is obviously Chicago. We're going street racing this year, so give me some feedback on what Chicago is going to look like. I'm ready for it.
I'm excited for Chicago. It's going to be great. So July 1st and 2nd weekend. And really, we wanted to make it much more than just a race. Obviously we'll have the Xfinity race, which will be on Saturday. The Cup race will be on Sunday. Those will really be the pinnacles of the weekend. But I think the fans are going to expect a lot of different, entertainment and experiential options that we're going to create around it. And naturally, it's going to look different, but it also has to look different because of the setting and location that we're in. So to be in the heart of downtown Chicago in Grant Park, they have Lollapalooza there, every summer. I think it's going to be a great location for us. The racing, I think, is going to be really good. But then to mix it up with, the Chainsmokers, Miranda Lambert, Black Crowes, a handful of different musical options. I think it's just going to be a fun all-around weekend. So I can't wait to see it happen.
And a lot of folks don't necessarily know this unless you dive into what NASCAR does as a whole, but we're caring about the community of Chicago too. So what have we been doing to kind of implement ourselves back into that market?
Yeah, totally. So, I think that's an important part of this, and we want this to be a big event for NASCAR. We also really want it to be a special and meaningful event for the folks in Chicago as well. So Julie Giese and the team in Chicago have been working on it nonstop since we've announced the event in July of last year. And everything from standing up STEM public school programs to partnerships with local Boys and Girls Club to creating safe driving campaigns throughout the city. So, really been going on a bit of a listening tour, hearing what's important to them, and then ultimately trying to implement it and work in good partnership to try to make something special for them. So really excited about those initiatives. We have a lot of work to do between now and July, but Julie's done a really nice job, and I think it'll be good.
Another thing that's circled on the calendar for our race fans that's already sold out is the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro. This is the 75th anniversary of NASCAR, so we're going back to a little old school to celebrate 75 more years of NASCAR, but North Wilkesboro is going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. And, talking about Chicago, that's a look towards our future. But North Wilkesboro is a celebration of our past as well. So such a special and iconic location. I mean, you think about, and I remember growing up watching old races at North Wilkesboro Speedway, but all the drivers that have raced on that track, all the drivers that have gone to Victory Lane there, and Speedway Motorsports has done a really great job in both modernizing it in a way, but also protecting a lot of the heritage and the things that fans and myself get excited about. So I can't wait to get back there. I think it's going to be really special for the All-Star race and a great way to top off 75.
Ben, we did an interview here at the start of last season in 2022, and we were talking about this crazy racetrack and building something here in the Coliseum that's such an iconic sports venue, but it kind of had a big question mark circled around it. Now we've figured out that downtown Los Angeles works, this racetrack works, the drivers did really well with it, but future Busch Light clashes, what does that look like? What's the next step for this race?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, I think to your point, we had a really successful event here last year. Really looking forward to seeing how this weekend goes. You know, ticket sales have been really strong the past week. And, you know, from a viewership perspective, I think having, you know, a prime time window on Big Fox, being able to end the race under the torch and under the fireworks is going to be something really special. So we'll see how this year goes. You know, it's a constant evaluation process. Every time we have a new event like this, we'll go back internally, have a postmortem, hear what the industry has to say, hear what our fans have to say, and then try to make the best informed decision on it. Do we come back? Do we go somewhere else? What are the opportunities around it? But you know, I couldn't think of a better location or concept to do something like this. You know, 2 weeks before our biggest event of the year, the Daytona 500. Great opportunity to promote that as well as our season. So I'm excited about it. I'm ready to get going on Sunday.
Me too, and it will kick off, as we mentioned, the 75th anniversary of NASCAR.
Yeah.
What are you hoping that we accomplish as a sport in the next 75 years? I mean, this is a family sport, and your family's been in it for the full time of NASCAR. So what's it look like for the next 75 years in your mind?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, we were talking about
lots of ticket sales.
Lots of ticket sales. No, I'm excited about it, and you know, I think if you take a step back and you look at the past 75 years, you know, 7 generations of vehicles that we've raced. The different series, the different locations that we've been to, we have so much to be proud of as a sport. And we had the opportunity to go to the Streamline Hotel where they had the meetings which formed NASCAR, ultimately incorporated in 1948, but the first meeting happened on December 14th of 1947. And we had our employees get together, and it was really a special moment, and we celebrated at 4:30, which was the time that the meeting ended. And it really put everything into perspective, being able to be at that location, see all the people that helped build the sport today, and all the pictures and memorabilia of the people that got it to where it's at. We have a lot to be proud of, but I'm also really excited about the future and what that's going to bring. You know, I remember our 50th anniversary, that was really special. 75 is going to be amazing between the activations we're going to have at track, the content that we're going to create. But I'm really looking forward for the next 25 years to 100 and the next 75 years. And you know, we have a lot of great concepts and ideas. We have a lot of great folks in the industry and the sport that are helping move the ball forward. And I couldn't think of a better time or a more exciting time to be in the sport as you think about just the culture and how we're thinking about things. So it's gonna be a great season this year. I know whoever wins here, it's gonna be even that much more meaningful,
yes.
The Daytona 500, and then especially the championship this year.
All right, Ben, well, we appreciate everything you do for the sport, for us race fans, and let's get racing here.
Let's get racing, let's go.